Oops, take the handle off. Hey y'all. I know. I've not been doing videos. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. I really don't. I really don't. It has just been really difficult since everything happened with my dad. But anyways, so yeah, this is today's project. So yesterday, when I got out of the bath, I noticed that it wouldn't shut off down here. Oops. It kept running, just slightly. And usually, of course, I've got the plate and everything off of the handle. You turn it down, it would shut off. And sometimes I could just tighten it a little bit and it would quit. Well, whoops, there on my screwdriver. Well, it wouldn't quit. So I got a new cartridge to put in, which is what this thing is going to be. We got to take this out. And hang on, actually, let me get these out and then I'll be back because I need both hands because I do not want to drop these screws behind the wall because then I'm really going to be mad. But hang on. BRB. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this cartridge is in the wall, actually. I just put in like 20 minutes ago. It's the new one. But I discovered once I put it back together and went out and turned the water back on to the house that it is, I believe, in upside down. Now, even though it says lower temp and it has an arrow pointing clockwise, meaning the colder, the lower temperature, cold, which would be right because when the handle's on, this is hot and then it's cold all the way off. So that's the way it's installed. But when I put everything back together, usually I would put the handle all the way this way, like, hang on, like this is off, and then it would go cold, hot, 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 hot. Well, the way it's on now, it's off and then hot, 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 cold, 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 which is backwards. But I've got it installed right because it says lower temp this way. So that cannot be right. So I'm going to take it back out, flip it around, make sure the O-rings are in there. And this is the old one. And what it is this it's basically a cartridge. And it's got these little grooves in here. And they're worn down. And when you turn it, which I can't really do it and film at the same time, but for example, when you turn this white thing, like you turn it, if I was to hold this and turn this thing down, it would be cold and off. And then if I turned it, and as you do, these grooves move and turn. And these, see, they're closed because it's off. And if I was to turn it, they would open up. But so because these little threads, these little teeth were worn down in here, it was not allowing it to shut all the way off, and water would just drip, 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 drip. It wasn't even a drip, it was a damn trickle. So, yeah. So that's why I had to get a new one. So, all right, let me see if I can take this thing out. All right, I got a little bit of overflow water. All right. Okay, hang on. It's catching on the fiberglass. Okay. Okay, see, O-rings are in there. Okay. So that came out. See, that's just the plumbing in there. So, O-rings are still in good. Okay, so I'm going to flip it. Yeah, see, it says lower temp. We're good this way, lower temp. But I did that. So I'm going to flip it back in this way. Okay, why is it not going in now? What the hell is it catching on? There we go. Okay. I just want to make sure those O-rings, these O-rings pop out so easy. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's in. So now I've flipped it around to where the lower temp's on the other side. And so now when I put the handle back on, it should go off, cold, hot, hot, hot. Whereas before it was off, hot, 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 cold. But the weird thing about it is that when I ran the bath this morning, it wouldn't get scalding hot like it should. So this is just a real pain in the butt. That's what I can tell y'all. And I personally am really tired of being misfix-it. This sucks. See, I don't think it really matters which way this. Yeah, it goes this way. Okay. Let's see, got that lined up. Okay, so I'm gonna get my 4 screws, put back in, and then go turn the water back on to the house again, and we'll see what happens. So I'll be back again. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this thing is ass backwards, back asswards. All right, so the way that it tells you to put it in, so that reading around this way, it says lower temp, and it has a clockwise arrow, which is how it always has been since we got the house. Meaning, let me get the handle back on. Hang on. Okay, so that's off. So normally before this, and of course now before I've replaced it, this handle would go all the way up here, which it shouldn't, but it's because the teeth were worn out. And so now it goes to there. Okay, now that is cold, which before that was hot, but now it's cold. And so it should be hot, cold, 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 off, but now it's hot, 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 out, that's hot, off. So if you install it the way that it tells you to install it and to follow the arrows clockwise, that's actually, it's backwards. And let's see, like here's the plate that will go over this. Okay, so see, hot, which means just turning it up. Turn this up, and that would be hot, or down and cold. But here's the thing. So I took it out, I flipped it around, the cartridge around, which, you know, basically means like this, because here's the O-rings on the bottom that open and close. Okay, and so the handle attaches to this. And so if, like this one, when this one was installed the right way, it was cold and then to hot. So when I put this one in, I put it in the exact same way, the way it tells, except what happens is you do get hot and cold, and you do get hot up here like you should instead of cold, but it gets warm, but it never gets hot. Like when it's at its hottest, I can hold my leg under it, and it never, ever, 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 like I don't have to remove it. Like this one, if I just barely turn it to hot, which that should be cold, ooh, no way gonna keep my skin under that. So in other words, if I go to take a bath or maybe go to take a shower, it's going to be warm. It's going to be maybe kind of hot, but I like mine scalding hot. So in order for it to have full hot water, which is just back asswards, yeah, it's installed upside down, basically. So it's because it's like when you install it the right way, it's not regulating the temperature. That's what these do. It's a hot and a cold. Of course, these are just black O-rings that come out. But one's hot and one's cold. And then, you know, depending upon what you swivel the knob to, the handle, which turns this, it regulates the temperature. But it's not working on this one, which is kind of aggravating. So now it's going to look dumb because, well, I guess I could put it, oh no, it still wouldn't work that way. That'd still be backwards. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is what I have been spending my morning on. And let's see, I think this threads onto here, if I remember right. I don't remember which way. No, I think it's this way. Yeah, so it is just, it's crazy. And of course, I'm having to go out to the curb and turn the water off to the house because, you know, obviously, you know, you can turn the water off to the potty, you can turn the water off to the bathroom sink, but you cannot turn the water off to the tub unless you give the water to the house. And so I've had to go out there in my robe and my flip-flops, my house shoes, 2,747, 82 times. And finally my neighbor